Hey guys, and welcome to Cast of Salt number 61. I almost said 62 because of the little confusion that just happened before this, but 61!
It's great that you're referencing things that people never see.
That have
That's
no
great.
idea what's
People love
going
that.
on.
People fucking love that.
It's a little behind the scenes.
A little behind the scenes. Thank you for joining us, and I'm back. I've been away for a little bit for the last couple of podcasts. A few things happening in the going-ons of the bin world.
Yeah, Bin World. I can't wait for that amusement park.
It's going to be great. There's going to be...
Go to Bin World. Everyone gets chicken. Every restaurant, only chicken.
Chicken, and you play all the SD3 that you can, handle.
Why don't you call it SD3 World? Shut the fuck up. It's called Bin World.
Anywho, thank you for joining us. If you're on YouTube, check out some of the other stuff that we've done. If you listen to this as a podcast, whether it's SoundCloud, whether it's iTunes, whatever it is that you're listening
Literally anything.
Any
medium. We're like
We're
an
on
ST.
Spotify
We're like
now.
on STD. We're on everything, baby.
Just can't get rid of
You
us.
can't get rid
No,
of
you
us.
can't fucking get rid of us.
Anywho, let's get straight into it. We don't want to spend too much time talking about ourselves, but to my right, we have the wonderful and... I was going to try to think of
I mean, fuck,
a nice
right,
descriptive
cool.
word to explain you, but the wonderful Adam.
Yeah, feeling love. Thanks, guys.
And the majestic and beautiful Carl to my left.
Hi.
Fucking majestic. Jesus Christ. No, I forgot anything that I said about him, but don't worry, we'll have to introduce Carl. Definitely got something to say for that one.
Of
God
course.
It's because I'm just better than you.
Did me so goddamn dirty, both of you.
Anywho, we'll get straight into the swing of things. Is there anything in the world of Adam that you want to give our lovely listeners a bit of a spiel on?
No, it's mainly like E3 news.
Getting
and
excited
stuff.
about E3.
Like all of the stuff.
I think this last week has just been nothing but E3 for us.
Every time I look at it, like all the cool stuff coming out, I'm like, I have so much in my backlog to play. So I'm like, at the moment I was like, fuck, I gotta finish Octopath Traveler because this E3 was the fucking JRPG of E3s.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. So many JRPGs. And I was just like, fuck, I've got Octopath Traveler. And then I was like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool if I bought, like I never end up buying the Final Fantasy X remaster or Final Fantasy 7. I got it on PC, but you know, like, have it Switch as well. Why not? And I was like, before I buy any of them,
You gotta
and
finish
anything
some
else
of the crap
coming
that
out,
you have already.
like, oh my god. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm nearly done with Octopath Traveler. I've smashed through it.
Yeah.
I'm nearly finished.
Good stuff.
It's fine.
Carlos?
I'm just sweating on the release of the next Final Fantasy 14 expansion, which is in 2 weeks.
Sweating
2
it.
weeks.
Sweating it. You ready? Is
No.
your body ready?
No.
Your body is ready.
No.
Well, my body is ready.
It's as
He's
ready
been
as
putting
gonna
himself
be.
on the gamer diet.
Yeah. What are you trying to say, Adam?
Enough said. I shall say no more. I've said too much already. And for me, and we'll get into this a little bit more, it really has been E3 and getting some serious JRPG boners coming
holy
on
shit,
with some
man.
of the stuff coming through.
So much.
Not just JRPGs, just RPGs.
Yeah, and I guess that's a better way to put it. The problem that I see here is with a lot of the games and wanting to play every new release RPG, to your point of having a massive backlog, this just adds like 20 games to that backlog and you're just like, okay.
Yeah, cool.
Here's
Dude,
this other 100-hour game that I need to play now.
I still got Sekiro. I still like,
I've still got
man, I
Sekiro.
played that for like 4 hours and then gave up because I suck at it. And I was like, yep,
I'm still going-
that one's sitting there. Dude,
I'm
I
still
never
going with
finished.
Hollow Knight.
Dude, I never finished Red Dead Redemption 2. Never finished that.
Yeah.
Never finished a whole bunch of shit.
You bought that? How
That's
far did
it.
you get in it?
That's the
Like-
problem with...
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know.
Okay, there you go.
I am a ways through it.
Yeah, I'm at
I
least
am-
half to 2/3 of the way through this.
Some number of
the
hours.
main storyline.
Well, that's the thing. You don't know. With even
no.
Red Dead Redemption, like the...
I feel like I'm ending
One
the
that I
climax
played.
of the story, and then they're just like, and then
there's-
everyone's online's like, we won't spoil it for you, but there's a whole bunch after you think the end is coming. And I was like, well, how long have I fucking gotten this game to go? I don't know. But yeah,
Forever.
They want my fucking
Anyway,
money.
okay.
Every game wants to be the only game that you play at
Yeah,
the
no.
moment.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
and that's exactly it.
I
That
haven't
is.
played Destiny in months. Speaking of that as well,
And
Jesus
there's
Christ.
there's a new expansion coming out for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, oh my god.
the life.
Oh my god.
The life of a 30-year-old
MMO player. With no children.
It's like, I have work. I do have a day job, but I also
Apparently.
have all these games that I want to play.
I come home from my day job to play my other job.
My secondary job.
So I come home and neglect my wife. And
It's funny. Okay, for a little bit of context, I rock up to Adam's house. His wife is sitting outside talking to her sister, going, I can't be in there. So, yes, he comes home to video games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And our lovely audience. You are more important than his relationship.
when this video gets like 6 views, I'm going to feel real special.
Take a bow. Take a bow.
Okay,
All right, let's get into it.
We've talked us. Let's get straight into the swing of things. Who wants to talk about the thing that is no doubt the most hype of all hypes?
I love the fact so that you'd be like, okay, stop. If anyone else, you'd be like, oh, so we're about to talk about Cyberpunk 2077, right? No.
Or we're about to talk about Halo Infinite.
No.
Or we're about to talk about the Breath of the Wild sequel.
No.
Or we're about to talk about
Pokemon.
No. Or Animal Crossing.
No.
Or did Bethesda announce anything interesting?
What, even if they did, no.
No. We're not talking about anything of that. We're talking about the game that these two guys have. If you've watched this podcast for any length of time, you've listened Bittyman talk about his favorite game of all time.
Of all time.
I don't think there's been any surprise or shadow, and it got announced.
Carl, your message woke me up, and you're
Did
like, you need to look at the Nintendo
Correct,
announcement
right now.
I was like, okay, jump on my phone, scroll, skip. Oh my goodness! Oh my god!
Hold me.
Carl!
I bring only the best news.
The best news.
What is it?
So, if you've ever listened to me talk about Seiken Densetsu 3, that's the name of the Japanese version of Trials of Mana.
It's so telling that you don't know what the
I had
English
to-
name of this game is. Fuck, what's the
I
name
thought
of
about
it?
it so that I wouldn't say the wrong one, because
Secret of Mana,
there's
no.
the Secret of Mana, there's Trials of Mana, and there's a third one that I can't remember.
It's more than that. There's heaps. But yeah.
Specifically, anyway,
Well, it didn't. See, so the thing is, this is a name that they basically invented for this
for
game.
this release.
After the fact.
Yeah.
For this release.
I was going to ask about that. So the reason that this is so special, right, is because 1 and 2 have never been released past their original console, right? Like Super Nintendo and
All right. Okay. So
Nintendo
history,
NES.
history lesson. The Mana series, as it's known in the English-speaking world, is known as the Seiken Densetsu series.
Yes.
In
Japanese-speaking world.
Japan. The first game was a Game Boy game. When it was localized, it was called Final Fantasy Adventure.
Because that makes total fucking sense.
in the US, and Mystic Quest in the EU region, which we're part of as far as Square's concerned.
Right, okay.
The second one was called Secret of Mana.
And
you may have heard of it.
So this game is also different. Final Fantasy Adventure is different to Final Fantasy games, even though Square makes both of them.
That's right.
The difference is that Final Fantasy was their big hit outside of Japan.
Yeah.
So they just went, fuck, every JRPG we're creating from this development studio that goes to the US, we're calling it Final Fantasy.
Well, I mean,
Basically.
I think that policy only really lasted a couple of years, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's why you're like, what, is it a Final Fantasy game? No, it's
It is
not
not.
even close to a Final Fantasy
Yeah.
game. But
Yeah.
it's called Final Fantasy Adventure.
For the hell of
cool.
Anyway,
Okay.
The second one came out for the Super Nintendo. It was called Secret of Mana.
And a lot of people know of that, right? That's a pretty popular
That's
one.
a popular one.
That was a big hit, pretty much everywhere. I've got a lot of nostalgia for it personally.
As do I.
It's a good game.
Yes.
And then the third one came out in Japan, and there was some talk that it was going to get an English release, like why wouldn't it? Because Secret of Mana was
It did well, Western release, didn't it?
Yeah,
It did very well.
Was really successful. But I think it was just a matter of poor timing. It was a big game. Like this is back in the day when
Compared to-
storage was expensive.
It's like, it was a big game. Nearly
50 meg.
50 megabytes.
like
Wow.
like not even.
It really isn't.
Like maybe
So
What
what
was
year
it?
was what year
I was
did
moving
Seiken
it around.
Densetsu 3 come out?
95.
Yes.
95.
Now
okay.
the thing about 95 is the PlayStation was already out, I believe.
Yes.
So I think that's why it never came out.
Because it was for the Super Nintendo, and they're
But,
like, well, you know,
like, there's a lot of text in the game. Would have required a ton of edits to actually get it
The English version.
to get an English version
And
up
it's
and
on
running.
an old
they-
last-gen console.
Yeah, so they were just sort of like, nah, you know what? No,
Yeah.
it's not going to happen.
we're gonna go and make Final Fantasy 7 instead.
Well, we're gonna put all our efforts behind localizing that. It's gonna
Yeah.
come out for the PlayStation, and make us $1 billion,
And
Yes.
which it did.
And it
They
did.
made the right choice.
It did. One of the
Not
most successful
not
games
gonna
ever
lie.
published
So,
ever.
so the Mana series kept going after
Yes.
that.
Yes.
A lot of most of the future installments were released in English, but number
That one
3 never made it.
Did not.
So it's always been sort of considered this like lost game.
Yes.
And a lot of us have played it through a fan translation that did the rounds on the internet in the early 2000s.
Right.
But now, just like out of the blue, they're like, you know what?
Here you
25 years is long enough. Let's get it. Let's get it out there.
You guys have waited long enough. Thanks for the wait.
Part of
People bitching about Animal Crossing getting delayed a month. You're like, fuck you! Wait, 25 years!
25 goddamn
Fuck
years,
you!
okay? I will slap you if you complain
You
again.
shut the fuck up!
So they released the Mana collection, which was the first 3 games as a Switch game.
Yep.
In Japan last year. I think you actually have a copy of the
I have the
Japanese,
Japanese version.
of that.
Yeah.
Ben got it for
yeah,
me.
you got the original.
Yeah.
But it didn't get an English release, and people were like, "Of course it's not going to. It's got Cyberpunk 3 in it. There's no English version of that. They can't release it here, right?" So lo and behold,
Here you go.
here it comes.
Here you
They're
go.
like,
But it was a part of the announcement of. So I think it was 2 years ago. They made it. There was a remake of Secret of Mana in 3D. They didn't really change the gameplay all that much, but it was like a remake. It came out for PS4 and PC. It was okay. It wasn't exactly revelatory, but it was okay.
yeah.
So now they're remaking Cyberpunk 3. So they've given it a new English title. It's now called Trials of Mana. It looks like an actual remake, like not just a
3D,
remaster.
here you go.
Yeah,
that'll complete. Well, even
The
look
battle
at,
system
even
looks
the battle
different.
System.
it's got like
It's
got,
very Final Fantasy 7 remake.
yeah.
Actually.
It's got like the
like,
dark.
oh.
It's got like the Dark Souls viewpoint and a dodge roll and all that.
Yeah.
all
And
that
you're like,
modern stuff. You know.
It looks fantastic. So coming back to the hype from our perspective, for me, I don't know if you guys remember, but this is literally what I was saying like maybe 5 years ago, talking to you guys, going, if this game is the epitome of JRPGs for me, the only thing that would make it better is if they were to release it in a more 3D third-person action thing, and that's exactly what they've done now.
They
It's
listen,
like,
they listen to
holy
you
shit.
specifically. They listen to you specifically.
yeah, this is like
This is your game.
this is my game. This is
for you.
If I never play another game, no, that's it. So that's the hype for me. That is absolutely the hype for me. Is this is exactly what I've wanted out of that game, and they're just
Yeah.
like,
So,
here you go.
so this comes out in 2020, and basically
Boom.
video games will be over for you. So there's not much
Every-
else to
Every
go.
other game.
Hey, remember when you used to play Overwatch and not
It's
anymore?
like, nah, it's done. It's dead. It's just
It's all dead.
no game exists outside of Trials of Mana for me. So, but
So yeah,
so
it's
the
like
problem
this little throwaway announcement in the
Yeah.
in the Nintendo Direct was
Shocked the shit out of
Yeah.
everyone. Well, the funny thing is, so you mentioned this to me before we started filming this, Carl, that that you've been watching a whole bunch of reactions, and I haven't seen anything either. No one is talking about this.
yeah. No one gets
Everyone's just like,
okay.
cool,
Yeah.
another JRPG, and people are like, I don't think you understand.
Yeah.
It's 25 years, motherfucker. Like, I've been waiting for this.
So
people thought it was a Dragon Quest game
They're cool, another
because
Dragon
because the 3D version
thing
has a
is-
similar art style.
And
Yeah.
also, Dragon Quest was also
Announced.
announced literally like right
Before it.
before, like literally right before it. Hey,
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 9, new Dragon Quest game. Everyone's like, cool. So I get like new Charles Mana. And everyone's like,
Okay.
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, cool. But
Yeah.
okay, so,
I guess. Well, they haven't really. I think the thing is they haven't really had a hit in the series since Secret of Mana.
Yeah. Well, and
Well-
that's the point. That's part of it as well, though. Like, because of that time, it's almost like a niche now.
Yeah,
It's,
that's right.
and hence why there's been very little reaction. It's a handful of people that are just like, I remember that game. Holy shit, I'm excited for this. Outside of that, it's just like, okay, this is another JRPG.
It's an interesting angle for Square Enix to take because it's like the people that care about it, as you can see, we really care about it. We really care about
this. Yes.
But for most other people, they're just sort of like, yeah, it looks like some anime trash. We don't really give a shit.
Well, okay, so this is what I thought would be interesting. So you guys absolutely love this. I've never played any of the Secret of Mana games. I love JRPGs, but like I haven't played these games at all. Because of the amount of stuff you guys have talked about this series, and especially Trials of Mana, I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to fucking buy this on Switch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna have to buy it myself and
I'll
give it a go.
slap you if you don't.
It's
So, but like, so this is
it's overpriced. It's $60.
Okay. So I'm okay to pay that.
Yeah.
Like, I know my point of like, yeah, fucking ducats, got fucking dollar all day, every day. Need my big money job. But like, I want you to kind of like, how would you very quickly sell this to like anyone listening and being like, this, when they saw like everyone else went, okay, cool, another JRPG game, and just totally faced like if I had never ever heard of it, I would have been like, Charles Mana. I know from pop culture, like, oh yeah, Secret of Mana is a game. It's probably like maybe a sequel to that, and that would have been
That's the extent of
the
it.
most I would have given a fuck about it. Like I wouldn't have cared at all.
Yeah.
But I know you guys, and I knew how hyped you guys would be. So why would you play this game over Octopath Traveler? Why would you play it over the Final Fantasy, the old style Final Fantasy game of that age and genre? Like, so why do you love this so much, and why is this so cool? Why is this such a highlight for you guys?
Okay. For me, so two things.
Like, what would you get?
Two things that came out of it. It was the storyline of three fairly distinct stories that are intertwined to tell you, and you can have multiple paths going through that. So character development, multiple paths. Story, go through multiple paths depending on the character that you pick first. Da-da-da-da-da. And just the way that those three stories just kind of crisscross the whole way through the game to the very end boss. The end boss depends on story. And then,
really?
Yeah. And
So
then,
the end boss changes depending on
Depending on your main character, correct?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's awesome.
And so that intertwining story was...
Not only the end boss, the entire final act.
The final act, the
changes
end boss...
depending on your main character.
Really? So you
Some
got to
of the-
play this game three times through,
You
pretty
can
much.
play it three times through.
Holy shit!
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm getting into it now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
You can play and so each character has a development tree that goes in two ways, then two, then two.
Jesus.
Or something
Okay.
like that.
All right, so
You have to pick a class. You have to pick a class to advance to twice, and there's two options each time.
So is this like a Fire Emblem style of like moving like
No.
Or is it
And that brings me to the second part.
Is it active battle
it's
time?
Active battle time.
No. So active battle time is like Final Fantasy VII.
No, it's not like that either.
It's not turn based.
It's not turn based at all.
Right. Okay.
And that's my second point. My second favorite thing about it is the battle system. At the time that I played it, it blew my mind at how well it handled it. It was. It had means of almost making it turn-based to an extent, to a sense, but it was not turn-based. And so it was just a fun battle system for me. And I was just like, I've never seen an RPG do this before. And it nailed it. It absolutely nailed it.
So, that aspect of it probably isn't as unique as it was at the time, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
And it still holds up really well.
Is this number 3 or is 1 and 2 do the same
Even two,
thing?
Secret of Mana has a similar sort of feel to
this
it.
is the thing that separates this series from its contemporaries, in that they are all action games.
Yep.
None of them
turn-based.
none of them up until they started experimenting with genre are turn based.
Okay, great. So that's a big reason for me to be like, hey, I'm playing Final Fantasy VII for the 15th time. What would be like, hey, maybe play this JRPG instead? And it's because like,
Yeah.
it's an action game. It's not a turn. It's not you to like your of that, especially of that time period. The turn based RPG was much more popular.
Prevalent. Yeah.
I mean, yes and no. Yes, I think it was certainly more prevalent than it is today.
Yes.
It was maybe, I'd say about, what do you reckon, 50% of the releases?
Yeah.
Like, action RPGs weren't unheard of. I mean, like, one of the Super Nintendo's flagship games, The Legend of Zelda,
Yeah.
is an action
Exactly.
RPG. Is an action RPG, but
True, but it's a bit more like it's kind of got a certain Well, it might have it to compare. It might be actually more comparable to the Mana series. But like when you think like that works because you are playing as Link, and Link has a set of moves.
Yeah.
The second you're like, hey, you're in a JRPG, and you're with a team of people. The second you say team of people, you're like, okay, cool. So you'll be telling them
what to do.
Actually, that's a very good point. I think that's the thing that probably sets the at least Secret of Mana and
it's
and Trials of
team-based
Mana
action.
Yes, that
It
they're
is
action RPGs
team-based.
that are team based.
You can play multiplayer, like on the one console.
Really?
You can play 3 people fighting around.
Really?
In Secret of Mana you can. Unfortunately, Trials is only 2.
Okay, 2.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's still cool.
And
Yeah.
then if you're playing single player, you can switch between characters, which is pretty common for JRPGs.
Yeah,
You can switch between the characters and control whichever one you want. And there's also like a team management system built into it where
That's
you can
really
"Hey,
impressive for a
you
game of that age.
do this
as well.
thing. Hey, you guard or hold this position or whatever. You can if you want to get as strategic as you want to, it has that option.
Okay,
I
cool.
never did, but it has that option.
Yeah, the AI is good enough that it'll usually
go.
Yeah,
do
just
the
do your
right
thing.
do the right thing
Yeah.
most of the time. But you can get more in depth with it if you want.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
So all in all, best game ever.
But I think
just saying.
But I think the thing that has given this specific game more longevity than its contemporaries is the aspects of it that increase its replayability.
Yes.
The way that you can not only change the team of characters, but also change which classes you're going to use on those characters and
Yes.
give yourself a completely different experience between playthroughs.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So I believe there are 6 characters all up.
6 characters.
All up.
Each character has 4 classes
Yes.
by the end of the game. And that is more combinations than I can work out in my head.
So there's just it's
Cool.
It's a lot, and it's all amazing.
Great.
There are, as any JRPG, there are frustrating parts of at least when the first or second time that you're playing through, where you're just like, what the shit do I do now?
Yeah, I mean,
You have to figure things out. So there's that level of frustration, and to a smaller extent than I've seen in other RPGs, grinding. Of just going, I need to level up. But generally, it's well balanced the whole way through. In my opinion. So yeah,
If you just barrel through it, you'll end up underleveled a couple of times, but not by a huge amount.
a lot.
cool.
Yeah.
Great. So I think that's a pretty good summary of like why people listening should be like, maybe I should go check that one out.
All right, so we've spent
20 minutes.
we spent way too long talking about a minor
Right.
game. Let's talk about
Cool.
the actual big hits.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, as a collective quickly, how do you feel, what were your impressions of E3 of 2019? Good, bad, mixed?
I
I think it was pretty good.
to sum it up, like I haven't cared about an E3 as much for a long time as much as I have for this one.
Yeah.
Like this one just felt good.
It did. I like this one.
I kind of felt like every time I feel kind of apathetic going into it, but by the end of it, I think there's been some cool stuff announced.
Yeah, so the thing is, there were definitely some mixed things for me as well. I don't want to be like, everything was so good. Oh my God.
Oh, no.
Because I'm always trying to be like, the second you get on board that hype train, then
You're
only
destined
gonna be
for disappointment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your destination is always going to be disappointment. So I kind of think, like, there were some undeniably cool fucking things in the E3. And then there was a lot of cool concept stuff, which I know I think one of the mixed things is there wasn't a lot of gameplay. And that's very clear. It was very prevalent.
Yes.
And the thing is as well, I think a lot of games are very early in development because they're probably going to be going for next gen. A lot, even the actual
Further in, maybe, yeah.
and they're not even gonna, or they're cross gen ones as well.
Yeah.
A lot of them are early. There's a lot of shit going on. Like
That's a very good point, actually. We're at a bit of a odd point in the life cycle.
The year before they do the cycle begins anew.
Yeah.
Is always a low E3, and considering that, this one was pretty good.
Yeah.
Considering.
But that said, there's only 2 consoles that are on the traditional generation cycle.
Yes.
Now, the Switch has sort of disconnected
It's
itself.
kind of its own thing.
Sort of disconnected itself from that by being a portable console as well, and therefore it's not really held to the same standards.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's more Sony and Microsoft, and Sony wasn't there.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is,
That actually tells us possibly even more than what they would have shown had they actually been there, because it tells us that they are putting most of their effort into delivering the new platform.
Well, yeah, and to be honest, like, I think they really didn't have much last year either. Like, Sony had nothing last year, and what they basically did is then they came out with like
they had a few things,
but they came out with like they didn't have all these crazy announcements or a full show packed with announcements. So they had like live music performances and they had all that shit, and the internet mercilessly mocked them. So they're like, "Fuck you, we're going home. We're taking a ball in this. We're not coming back to E3. Fuck you guys." And they didn't. So I was like,
they didn't show up.
They'll be back next year once the PS5's out.
Well, to be honest, I think Microsoft actually did a pretty decent fucking job in capitalizing on the opportunity because Sony wasn't there. Because they were going to be the flagship console presser, and they fucking nailed it.
And that meant that they could claim world premiere on a lot of their on a lot of the trailers that are at that. Well, I mean, that we know are going to be cross-platform.
Well, heaps of them were coming out. I was like, well, like Cyberpunk 2077.
That's
bam,
everything.
And then I was just like, and the thing is, and they still got to have, because apparently this is a way bigger thing than what I think of, and a lot of people like that again, like kind of like more in this gaming kind of culture think about. But apparently it's a really big deal when you're like, okay, cool. So Cyberpunk 2077, and you see the ad, and then it says like play it on Xbox or whatever, and then it also says also available on PlayStation and PC and whatever else. I was like, I never, because like Destiny, for example, was famously like PlayStation first, and the releases still came. Like it didn't matter really, but apparently that does affect sales massively, because a lot of the times they're like, what do I buy it on? And then like a mum buying the console, they're like, oh, I want to buy that game, and then they're just like, okay, I saw the ad, and they pick the game that's on the front of the thing, and they go, the green one, that's the Xbox, I'll get the Xbox. And I didn't actually understand how
impactful that is.
Because I was like, why is Microsoft spending all of this money when it's a cross-platform game, and they're gonna be spending all the marketing material advertising Cyberpunk game? Why the fuck
why care so much?
Like, Sony's gonna make money if the game does well as well. Why are they doing that? Why don't they do their own exclusives, as much as everyone hates exclusives? But then you realize, well, no, they're gonna take the...
At least it's not an Epic Store exclusive.
So no, coming back to a point that I was just thinking about just then, with regards to what things being released on everything. So one thing that I noticed, and I think it might have been during one of the talks for Cyberpunk 2077, was that Stadia.
I watched that and I was like, fuck this thing.
No, well,
fuck Stadia.
Things are going to be on Stadia as
Why
well.
should I give a shit about Stadia?
On Stadia as well.
They're Stadia exclusives. They've already announced them. They're like indie games. I'm like, whatever.
Why should I give a shit about Stadia in Australia, where we don't have the internet to run it?
It's not coming to state. It's not coming. It's not being released here now, and they're like, oh, we're going to release it in more countries. Maybe we get it.
Eventually.
Maybe. To be honest, the technical things from Stadia, because this is 2 or 3 podcasts ago that we basically were talking about Stadia.
It was a while ago.
As our main topic. And we were like talking about like latency was a big thing, and like the amount of downloads and stuff. To be honest, like from when they came out with the specs of what would be required, I was like, that's better than I thought it would be. I was like, that's okay. Then they came up with the pricing model. I'm like, great, this makes no fucking sense. This makes no fucking sense. Why would you price it like this?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, great. Got a Pro, $10 a month. And I was like, that's kind of expensive for 4K, but sure, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's also my fucking downloads as well. So I have to have the internet connection
to handle that.
And in Australia, have it not capped and all that stuff. So it's a pretty high premium. It's not just like, oh, $10 a month. You already have to have your high-level internet subscription to begin with. And then they're like, yeah, and you get some games free a month with it. And I'm like, okay.
Some games free?
Basically, it's like games for gold. Basically, you get a game, we get a game here or there or whatever.
But it's not just a streaming service. You have to actually buy
the game. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, what the? Yeah. I was like, and then I was like, okay, maybe. And
calm down, Adam.
Yeah. And I was like, the last thing, I was like, maybe what it is there'll be like, the game, like you can get Assassin's Creed on PS4 or Xbox 3 or Xbox One, and it'll be $80, or you can get it
on Stadia
for $40. And I'm like, okay, that to me makes sense, because I'm like, I am fine with Spotify and all these processes and services that we have these days. I'm okay with all that stuff. That's just the way the industry is going. But I don't understand. I'm like, I'm not fucking giving you $80 for Google one day. Be like, Stadia's not making us enough money. We're just going to shut it down.
We're taking it off.
And then gone. Fucking gone.
Because it's not like Google has such a great track record with
shut shit
keeping
down all the time.
with, products that don't make the money.
They're like, oh, this doesn't make money. Dead. And I'm like, well, like, so I was like, I don't understand. So if you were just like, it's only subscription model, base model is $5 a month, and then this one's $10 or $15 US a month.
Like,
and you got every single game on there. I'd be like,
sweet.
sure, whatever. It's $20 a month or whatever, something insane. But it's any game I want
to play at any
ever.
point. Yeah.
Basically, that's and if
Ready to
developers
go.
are supporting Stadia. Imagine every single game on the market available to you for $20 a month.
Yeah.
I mean,
You'd be like, sure, fuck it, why not? Whatever.
That would make it a lot more enticing.
Exactly.
Wouldn't it?
But the thing is, if you're like, how
buy
about
the
this premium
service,
subscription and then
and
buy
then
your
you
games?
buy
You're
the
like, what
game.
is the fucking point
It's
then?
like, why?
What is the fucking point?
Yeah.
I was like, this is dumb. This is so dumb.
We're getting off topic.
Anyway,
Yeah, so
well, it's
my
still
point
E3
is-
because
my
I was
point-
like, this is.
My point
Jesus.
is Stadia is becoming more prevalent. It's
But
there.
So apparently that there were reports out of the Microsoft like the demo section and stuff, and that people got to play with the xCloud stuff, which is what Microsoft will be using for their cloud services in the future. And I think when PlayStation releases their own one, it'll be very similar because they're using the same backend network. They're actually buying it off Microsoft,
Right.
All that backend shit,
Right.
So realistically, and people were like, it worked. I was playing Forza on my tablet.
And
Cool.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worked.
End
And
of
it was
story.
responsive. Cool. Yeah. Sure. So I think no matter what, gaming will go in that direction. I don't think Stadia. I think Stadia. Google will be what Google does.
They'll do their thing.
They'll drop Stadia. It'll generate the thing. It'll make people invest in the technologies and invest in Google's architecture,
Infrastructure.
and then they'll just be like, "Yeah,
And-
Stadia's not working." Pull, and then
But we have the infrastructure, so
and then they're still buying the infrastructure for us, so we still win in it either
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Controversial opinion.
Yes.
I hope that streaming doesn't displace traditional gaming.
I don't think it ever will, because the thing is, like, for Australia, for example, we just don't have the capacity.
I mean, this could
we
be.
just don't have the capacity.
This could be old man yells at cloud, but I don't know. I think the input lag would drive me mad.
Well, I'm not totally sure about like all of that kind of stuff, but I think just from a feasibility point, you can't just be like, yeah, gaming's only streaming now. So what? Like, only people in major metropolitan cities can play video games now. That's a huge part of like revenue games
Just
industry is
thrown
not
away.
seeing anymore.
Yeah,
And that
no.
isn't going to happen. The games industry isn't going to fuck off like 30% of their client base because they don't live in a major city.
Yeah.
Like, they just won't do it.
And even if streaming does get more prevalent, like
It will
it's
be
not
prevalent.
gonna.
It'll be an option, but
it's-
it will
yeah,
never.
exactly
It will
right.
never be the only.
It's gonna be an
the
option.
only thing.
It makes more sense to have it as an option rather
Yeah.
than the only available possibility.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So-
not stressed about that. It's okay,
Now,
Carl.
now we're talking about the
It's
internet.
okay.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Baby.
Nice segue.
Yes. Fuck
Baby.
yeah. It's not like I've been doing this for 60 fucking podcasts already. Cyberpunk 2077, man, that was one of my fucking highlights. I've been, when this game was originally teased, God knows how many years ago, I was like, yeah,
Okay.
cool, sounds fine. I've never played a Witcher game. I'm in a minority. It's one of those weird.
I haven't either.
It's one of those weird. You know, you realize you have like pop culture holes, and people are like, have you seen that movie? Like, I've never seen that
no.
movie before. You're like, holy shit! Like, again, like I've never seen Godfather, and I'm like, and people are like, how have you? You're a movie guy. How have you not seen The Godfather? I'm like, I don't know. I've just never seen The Godfather.
happened. Yeah.
But yeah, like, so The
Witcher's-
Witcher is one for me.
Yeah.
Like, I've never played any of them.
Yep.
And so I was like, but I know the games are good. I know CD Projekt Red makes some fucking great games. They give a shit about. They're one of the very few major game. Well, they're big now. They're operating in 3 offices. They've got 3 offices in Poland, I think. So they're pretty sizable publisher. They're not like a one office operation. They've got a serious amount of people working there, and they don't pull microtransactions. They basically make money because people
made a
know
good
they
game.
make great games.
Yeah.
And they're gonna sell a shit ton of
of them.
units.
Yeah.
And that's what they're gonna be like, we don't need microtransactions, we don't need any of that shit, because this game is gonna send 10 million copies and we're fine.
Yeah.
will be good.
And we're sweet with that.
And that means the next game, because we've got such brand
Gee,
loyalty,
I mean,
people are gonna fucking buy 10 million of our next game as well.
Gee, it's almost like that model of game publishing still holds up today.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, funnily that. So I was like, cool.
It's just not as easy.
I think, and I love the cyberpunk genre. I like it's kind of like goofy and fun, and like the first thing like I always think of is like, have you guys ever played the Saints Row series?
No,
not I.
So there's one of the gangs that you have to face is the Deckers, and they're like cyberpunk neon blue
hackers.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Right.
But yeah, like super cyberpunk styling, but everyone else is not cyberpunk.
Just normal.
It's just them in this part of town. It's just
What's
them.
wrong with those guys?
Cyberpunk's very...
It's fucking great.
Has always been like a very specific thing, and it's also a very 90s thing.
It is. It is absolutely. Well, it's the whole idea of cyberpunk is like what people in the mid 1980s thought
the future would
the
look like.
would be like, or realistically like right now 2020,
Well, not-
2019.
Well,
kind of thing.
not just what they thought the future would be like, what they thought the future would be like if it was a dystopia.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly right.
I feel like we're getting there. We're
we're
just have
we're
the
working
cool
towards the
shit.
dystopian
We don't
side.
have the neon down. We got the dystopia though. So when the trailer came out, I was like, "Fuck yeah, this game looks fucking great."
That was a good trailer.
It was.
It was a very good
that
trailer.
was the trailer before E3. That was the teaser one that came out. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. Looks pretty good. I'm getting more pumping
Keen
myself
for
up.
it. Yeah.
And at the same time, just being like, Adam, you just gotta
keep it
gotta
going.
get on the hype train. You gotta
Be
gotta
cool,
see.
Adam. Be cool, Adam.
This game
Be
looks
cool.
good, but you're gonna fuck your expectations for yourself if you keep acting like this. Keanu Reeves walks out and I'm done. I'm just like, I'm done. I don't give a shit. I'm in, baby. What are you selling me? Cyberpunk? Yep. Come on. Yep. Let's go.
Shit, it's Morpheus. Pick it up.
And
Adam just swoons.
I was like, oh my god. Yep. So
he's the perfect guy for a cyberpunk game after the Matrix, isn't he?
it's brilliant.
That's the fun, like, interesting thing
That
for me
dude's
with
fucking
Keanu
killing
Reeves.
it this
He
year.
just the last couple of years. So it was just
He's
like
killing
Matrix. He was a big name, and a couple of things that he did around that, speed and whatnot. So like early 2000s, fairly big name. Then kind of went quiet for a little
Some
while.
romantic comedies and bits and pieces.
And,
here
yeah,
and there.
so his popularity lulled a little bit, and then John Wick comes up, and it's just like straight back up. You can put him on anything now.
I think he's more popular now than he was during the Matrix.
Yes,
You
Hell
reckon?
yeah.
You
Yeah,
reckon?
absolutely. Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I think John Wick is going to start eclipsing his work as people will now know him as John Wick
rather than Neo. Yeah.
Wow.
Which is getting fucking crazy.
Wow.
We're like we're older enough that we know all that
know.
shit, and we were like teenagers going through the Matrix, and that period of time. So that is kind of a bit of nostalgia for us, but like, dude, I could just imagine if I was fucking 14 and I saw John Wick, I'd be like, that man's my fucking hero. Like, John Wick, baby. I was like, who the fuck is Neo? Like, I wouldn't give a shit.
He was in a movie recently, Always Be My Maybe. Do you know Ali Wong?
Okay, so I saw
movie's great.
I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
Leah showed it to me, and I was like, this movie looks bad. It's like a romantic comedy. I was like, it looks bad.
It looks bad, but it is funny.
And then I saw the trailer, and Leah's like, just watch to the end, and you'll like it. And then Keanu Reeves makes an
Keanu
appearance.
Reeves is in it, and he plays a fantastic version
You know, there's
of
so
himself.
there's so many gifs of him
from
from that
that.
movie. Yeah, the famous one is he's walking in, he's like his hair's like blowing back, and he's walking up, and he's like puts his hands in front of his face for no fucking discernible reason.
It's
and
fantastic.
just
So he's just
great.
such a massive name now, and for them to throw him into that game was just like, that makes sense.
Perfect.
You can throw him into anything, and I reckon it would just like bump up the popularity of whatever you throw him into at the moment. So it is pretty great.
The E3 crowd went absolutely nuts
When he walked out on the stage.
So yeah, and I think one of the amazing things that I loved as well is that this E3 in general has been super wholesome. It's been like generally the memes that come out of it and shit, and people being like, "Fuck the flute dude of PS4," like
Man, that guy got a raw deal.
just ripping on everything, being like, "That's fucking dumb. That's stupid. That game sucks," and just making fun of everything. And then this one was just like,
Everyone's just happy.
John Wick is breathtaking. That is meme number one.
Apparently, the dude that called him breathtaking got
He got a free copy, a collector's edition of Cyberpunk for that. Yeah. Yeah.
And then who was it? The chick that announced Ghost.
I'll get the name up.
Shit, I can't remember it now.
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna butcher a name.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Ghostwire Tokyo. I
That's the name
cannot
of it,
remember
isn't it?
her name. Like the
I know you mean. I also can't remember her name. That's terrible.
We're just gonna sit here for 5 minutes while we figure out her name.
While Adams Googles it, that game actually looked alright as well.
It looked interesting. It looked like such an interesting concept. It's like
way better than all the other stuff that Bethesda announced at their conference. Or is that unfair?
It's probably fair. So Ghostwire Tokyo,
That game actually looked
it
fucking
looks
awesome.
good.
That game,
it genuinely looks good.
Zero gameplay,
But the problem is
zero idea of what it's going to be like.
Yeah, and that's the
as
thing,
a
right?
pure
The
concept.
concept
I was
looks
like,
amazing.
yeah, sure.
The concept looks great.
It's going to be like
but
3 or 4 years before we see
who
that.
knows how? Like, it's like what does the game actually? What do you actually do? Playing through that game, it's just like I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know.
It was a good trailer.
Yeah.
But
there's ghosts. You got to fight some ghosts, I guess. But okay. But it was enticing, and that was the point of it. I think that was absolutely the point of it. And once we figure out her name, we'll be able to tell you how much we love this lady that we've never met before.
So excited.
Yeah, you search for me. But yeah, so again, it just seems like lots of good wholesome shit happened in this E3, and I'm happy.
Sorry.
sorry.
Ikumi Nakamura.
There we go.
Akira Nakamura. Yeah, she's
That-
amazing.
that-
Sorry.
hits better.
She's the creative director. The
Correct.
other guy's the
I'm glad you read that. I would have butchered that.
yeah. What's his role in
Director.
this?
She's
Just
the she's the creative director.
Is he just the regular director?
He might.
Potentially.
Anyway.
Producer? I'm not sure what his role
Here's
is.
not the
Either
one
way.
we
Yeah.
care about right now.
Yeah.
She needs to do every single goddamn press release for that game now. Like, she can't not be there. People are gonna boo whoever the fuck comes
Anyone
on stage
else, yeah.
to talk about Ghostwire because they know it's not her. But yeah, so
The Smash announcement was kind of interesting. Because it introduced some of the Dragon Quest characters. And I was just like, that's kind of cool, but it feels like they're going the Fire Emblem route.
more sword boys.
Yeah,
More
and I
sword
was just
boys.
like, oh, I mean, yeah, but oh.
I mean,
Some of those moves look like cancer though. That has a self-destruct move, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking hate that. Like, I'm gonna hate that.
Additionally, not every character they announced can be like for the US audience. This one's obviously squarely aimed at the Japanese audience.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest is way bigger in Japan.
In
than
Japan.
It is.
I was
Yeah.
like, sure,
Yeah.
Than
cool.
it is in the
Yeah,
West.
no,
Well,
that
they had
makes sense.
Banjo-Kazooie for us Western fucking white people.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're like,
Banjo-Kazooie is okay. I wasn't too crazy about it.
I was like, cool, sure. I'm not a... I was like, okay.
I have a confession to make. I actually totally
You're
skipped
a
that
fanboy.
one. I actually
Oh,
totally skipped that one on
right.
N64.
Oh, you skipped it. Yeah, no, that's okay. It was a fun game. It was a good game.
Fine.
But no biggie.
Yeah. We're probably going to catch... Like, the thing is, that's probably, like, something that my friends would catch flack. Like, would give me shit over.
Over
Like,
Banjo-Kazooie.
Because people love that game, and it's got a lot of nostalgia, but, like, it's a very typical Rare collectathon game.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're Rare, we've written this quirky story, and there are 999 things for you to fucking collect on this map.
Off you go.
For it.
Off you go.
All the music notes, all the fucking shit.
Yeah.
9,000 collectibles over 70 different categories, and
Yeah.
you got to get them all. Got to get them
Yep,
all.
basically.
Got to catch like the real. Got to catch them all. Fuck Pokemon right off.
Yeah.
But back to the point of Pokemon, I think I've said this a few times. I've just lost all excitement for that genre. Like,
Man, I don't know. I'm excited for this
All right,
one.
You're keen
okay.
for it.
All right, let's talk about Pokemon then. Let's talk about how salty the community's getting.
People need to calm the fuck down.
So for
Wow.
for those of you who haven't been keeping their tabs on it,
Oh my
the
god.
plan for the next
Salty
next game,
motherfuckers.
Sword and Shield, is that it will not have a national dex.
I
Okay.
was like,
Yeah.
okay.
You won't be able to import Pokemon into it that
From your old game.
from your old games.
and that don't exist in the previous that don't exist in
this-
that
in
that
the current
region.
one.
Rather-
So it's starting again. Effective. It's like a plain 150 decks or however many.
Well, no, I think the intention is that it's actually going to have quite a large regional dex.
Yeah.
Well, because it's still got lots of Pokemon from old
from
games
previous
in there.
versions, but
Like, it
it's
still might have
everything.
Charizard and
but
Venusaur
everything in
and
this region
Blastoise
only.
and all
They're not.
Right.
They're not pulling a Generation 5 on us where everything's new because
Yeah.
that was dumb.
Yeah, people hated that.
Yeah,
But what they are saying is that if it's not in
that
the region,
that
you
region,
can't
that
import.
game,
you
you
can't
can't.
import him from previous games.
So you
Okay.
can import it from previous game if it's also catchable in this game.
I believe that's the insinuation, but we
Yes.
don't know for sure yet.
right.
Yeah.
mean,
So
that's-
So it's not quite as bad for
this-
for competitive as
you're like,
we thought originally.
if it used to be useful, maybe it still is.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
Is this a technical decision?
Yeah.
Or
So they came out and said, yeah, this is we struggled to make because there's fucking over 900 Pokemon
so
now.
many of them.
Here's the thing. I'm not sure I buy that.
I mean, that's the answer they gave.
I'm not
like,
sure. I'm not sure I buy that. Because like this game's gonna make all the money, so they should be able to put whatever resources they need into it. I'm kind of hopeful that they'll patch it sometime down the track,
Maybe.
like a couple of years later.
Maybe. To be honest,
Let's see.
like I was like, it's gonna get rid of a whole bunch of disgusting shit out of VGC forever, so
But-
I was okay with that.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine they'll be gone forever.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, I can't imagine they'll be gone forever. And additionally, the first year of a new Pokemon, competitive-wise, the first year of a new Pokemon
Is the new one.
format is always the regional.
Yeah, but the thing is though, we're gonna have 3 years of not
Unless
chalk.
unless they patch it.
Unless they patch it. That's why I was just like, I don't give a fuck. Sure, whatever. The thing is, though, I know, like, talk to people that have said, I caught this fucking Charmander. I got my starter Charmander from Gen 1 or whatever, and I've moved it up through the ranks and
The whole way
figured
through.
ways to get around things, and I've got it in the latest game.
and
Or
then
like,
now it's just like, nope.
and people have talked about how, like, they played the original Ruby Sapphire, and they got their original Pokemon from Ruby Sapphire into Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
Right.
And people were like,
Now you
That's
can't do
pretty,
that.
that's pretty sweet.
and that's
Yeah.
pretty sweet. Yeah, sure, cool. And they're like, I've been carrying these Pokemon with me forever. And so to them, that sucks. Because
Okay,
they're
yeah.
like, they can't do that now.
Yep.
But people are like, oh, how dare you make an incomplete game? And I'm like, no, bitch, the game's complete. It just doesn't have a feature you want.
That you want
it's
from it,
completed.
Okay, thoughts. I get the feeling that a lot of the starters from previous generations are not going to be available in this one.
Maybe.
Potentially not, yeah.
Kanto starters will be.
Oh,
They'll have Charizard. They'll have
I
Venusaur.
think
I think
they'll
they've
have
already,
Blastoise.
they've already confirmed that all 151 are going to be in there.
Yeah, like I feel like you can't not have those ones. Like
Yeah.
if
If you're gonna sell to 30-year-old millennials like us, then
Yeah.
yeah, they need to be fucking in there.
it kind of stops being a Pokemon game when you get rid of the original Pokemon. It's just like, what is this? What game is this? Digimon?
I don't give a shit. I don't know what any of these are. This makes me feel. What is the fucking quote? This makes me feel confused and alone and angry.
But we'll see. We'll see how it pans
looks
out. As
fine.
much
I mean,
as
I'm
people
still
will
going to buy
complain-
it.
Dynamax looks stupid,
Yeah.
but then again, they're like, oh, Megas aren't going to be in it, and Z moves, and oh, I like that.
I'm kinda glad that's-
I'm glad because I don't want my fucking Dynamax Z move Ultra fucking thing. I was like, oh, just stop.
Bring it back to the basics.
Let's just fucking
It's
please.
too many mechanics being
Just-
thrown in.
Dynamax is dumb. We all can agree on that. It looks so stupid. But I was like, whatever. You've made a Pokemon game and you've made it more standalone than what people would expect. People are fucking losing their goddamn minds. But I was like, oh, whatever. It's fine. Let's
Wait until it actually comes out and we've played it.
And we see how it goes.
it looks better than Sun. Like, it can't be worse than Sun and Moon, right?
What? Whoa!
Can't be worse than Sun and Moon. I really did not like Sun and Moon.
He hated Sun and Moon.
I tried to like it so much.
I mean,
and
they
oh
weren't.
my
I mean, it
God.
wasn't as good as Gen 6 in my opinion, but I didn't think they were bad. I mean, they weren't.
I just didn't play them.
The technical implementation was so poor and the story was lackluster and there was a whole bunch.
But Team Skull.
Team Skull.
Team Skull.
They are my favorite team of any team. They are the best team. And it comes from a game that I really didn't enjoy that
That you
much.
just
but,
hated.
But, they were fun.
You said
Yeah,
the story was lackluster. Tell me, which story hasn't been lackluster in the last 4?
I didn't mind Gold and Silver.
That's outside the
No,
last
outside the
four.
last four. No, I'm just mean generally. Like,
Like-
Gold and Silver was fun.
For me, the recent ones have just been.
Whatever. Yeah. I mean, it's a Pokemon game. I mean, we can't dig too much into it.
Yeah,
But like, the
that's
thing is,
true.
like, but it hasn't been satisfying mechanically either.
Yeah.
The recent stories have had this. Like,
We're all friends.
They're
I'm like,
getting
well, I
bigger.
mean, it's
they're
it
making the
has had-
story
has-
try to be bigger and bigger.
But that's the
with-
thing. It has this weird dissonance between the stakes and the scope of the story keep
Yeah.
getting bigger, but they still want to have the core of it. You're just a kid on an adventure,
yeah.
and the
Making
tones
friends
just
along the way.
clash.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they're just
Really
like, and you
badly.
have to save the world.
Save the world. Go talk to the
Can we get the adults in here, please?
Yeah, it's like I'm just
Pokemon of time.
it's like,
go
I'm just-
save that.
I'm just a
the
kid.
god of Pokemon.
the god of the universe.
I'm just a kid on an island adventure, except there's wormholes and monsters from another dimension and alien and literal fucking aliens.
Don't mind the what? You don't need the military involved in this. You don't need the Earth's defense in any way, shape, or form. This 10-year-old
spoilers
kid,
for some-
10-year-old
kid will
child.
handle
They're
it.
fine.
Spoilers for Sun and Moon, by the way.
Yeah, that plot fucking lost me. I was like, oh my, what the fuck is happening? That was dumber than X and Y. I loved X and Y. And X and Y's plot, its huge plot twist, is the most laughable plot twist I've seen in any Pokemon game ever.
I'm trying to remember X and Y now.
I'm pretty sure that's what spawned the fucking Pro ZD sketch.
Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah.
Like he even named the generic villain guy after him.
Because it's just like,
Spoilers for X and Y, by the way.
So basically, there's this dude that's in this fucking red suit with his flaming red hair that stands up.
Yep,
like,
I remember
right
him.
His name's Lysandra.
Yeah.
And he's just like, and he like you talk to him, and then he's like, everyone's like, oh, you know, he's like the head of this. He's like owns all this business.
Yeah.
He's like this big philanthropist in the era, and he's just like.
And everyone instantly knows he's the bad guy.
No, everyone thinks he's a good dude, and you talk to him, and he's just like, the world is, I just love beauty, but, you know,
The world is
the
imperfect.
world is imperfect, and if only I could clean the world of its imperfections. And you're like,
Everyone-
what
like,
the
wait,
fuck is that dude? And you're like,
Wait, what?
He's such a good dude, he's such a philanthropist, he helps out everyone, and he's a leader of Team Flare, who also wears the same fucking orange colors that he does. And
Yeah.
he's just like, everyone's like, oh my god, and you're like,
he's like, oh my god, how could he be behind it all? And you're just like,
yeah, literally, he's
Oh,
like,
God.
oh my god.
This 10-year-old kid is just like, are you guys serious right now? Do you not see this?
He literally starts talking about like the benefits of like eugenics
Yeah.
in the game, and he's supposed to be at that point the good guy, and you're like, come on, like,
You know what that reminds me of? BoJack Horseman, Miss Princess Caroline dating the 3 kids in a trench
three
coat.
kids in a trench
And BoJack's just like, do you not see that he's just 3 kids in a trench coat?
all right, moving on. Moving on. Let's talk about the new Xbox.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so the new Xbox looked. So they didn't really show us much.
No.
There was a lot of tech words, which I think we understood from our background, but I think a lot of people would have been like,
Okay.
It's like Star Trek technobabble.
sure, yeah, absolutely. That would have made not a lot of sense to a lot of people. To be honest, I would have liked if they could have shown us a little bit more, but probably they don't
Have any more?
anything else.
Yeah.
The fact they're still calling it Project Scarlet,
Yeah.
and they haven't given it a fucking name yet,
Yeah.
is like they don't know.
Still very
they
early
haven't
stages.
fucking built it
Are
out
we
yet.
still expecting it to come out next year?
Yeah, I guess.
They showed us the Halo trailer. I think apparently in engine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although no gameplay, but in
Yeah.
engine.
I'm pretty excited for that.
It was a fucking crazy ass throwback.
Yeah.
To Halo Combat Evolved, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. Especially since the last game I played through and was just like, what the. Like, why is this game going up its own asshole with its story? Like, why? Why is any of this shit happening?
I am curious as how
that happens to every series if it goes
that
on
goes
for
long
too
enough.
long.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to how the story gets to that point. I am so curious. I'm genuinely.
I actually reread the wiki of the plot. Of
I
Halo
literally
up till now. I
Yeah.
read the wiki and was like,
Yeah. I got up to speed on the lore, basically. I watched a video that just kind of summarized it.
I think basically
after
what
seeing
it's
the
gonna
trailer,
be
and I
is
was just
it's
like,
gonna be
okay.
because they're like planning the resistance, and then they're like, that's it. And I was like, well, I think the idea is that they'll explain we did the resistance failed, and
Master Chief
because in the legendary ending, Cortana's like humming 343 Guilty Sparks tune on a ring world that flashes, and it's the same ring world that is shown in the
has
trailer
been destroyed.
that's been destroyed because it's been fired.
Yeah.
So I think they're just gonna be like, okay, they're just gonna do a jump forward and be like, yeah, we did the resistance.
This has happened.
It failed. Master Chief had to go there or something. He got put in a cryo sleep, or
You'll probably get flashbacks during the game,
and he got picked up and bam, you're on the new ring.
And here you go.
Like that'll be it. And I was like, oh, cool, fuck it,
Yeah.
great, yep.
I'm ready.
I'm ready to go, baby. I'm ready to go.
Pretty excited for this. Pretty excited for it.
Still, and they've also said co-op and all that. Like, basically all the features of the fucking...
All
of the games except for the last one, basically. Yeah. So hopefully more of a return for.
So this is the start of a new generation.
And it is the fucking launch title for the new Xbox, which is, I was like, thank God you guys have got your shit together with how you're going to fucking launch this console. Because, like, that is... the number one, if you would have said, Adam, what is the best thing? What is the best way that they could launch and try and become, the console of the next generation over the PS5? Because people are like, PlayStation is doing so well, but realistically, people thought the Xbox was going to continue from the 360.
Yeah.
Because the 360 kicked the shit out of the PS3 in every single category. They absolutely destroyed it. And then both consoles released and PS4 just not even for a second was in the front. So,
but you know why that was? Microsoft botched the launch.
Exactly. They didn't have the games.
Yeah.
And they had roughly the same technical specs. I think the PlayStation is a little better.
A bit better.
Yeah. But it's not
but it's
substantially better. But the pricing was pretty much the same.
But it's not just that. It's all the weird stuff that was going on leading up to the launch.
Yeah.
You remember all that? The ridiculous.
Oh, discless. No, it's not going to be discless.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be this. Oh, no, fuck.
Online, always online. Okay, shit, no, they don't like that. No, it's not always online.
And it's like, you have to have a Kinect. You don't have to have a Kinect. No, you have to have a Kinect. No, you don't have to have a Kinect.
We've patched it out. You don't need a Kinect.
You don't have to have a Kinect. But there's no bundle that doesn't include
Come
it.
with a Kinect.
You're getting a Kinect.
So it just... Yeah, the launch was weird.
But yeah, exactly.
It was confused. There was no single.
Well, they even referenced that
narrative.
in the preamble of showing the Scarlet video. They were like, "We've heard you guys that this should be for gamers, and this should be for." And that's what PlayStation have done. All their marketing is their tagline
for the gamers.
For the gamers,
Yeah.
like they're like, we know you don't want the fucking entertainment system. Like to be honest. Like, I know you use it, because I see you on Xbox all the time being like, watching a DVD or...
Watching on Netflix
or
whatever the case is.
And my brother's the same. Like, he has all of his entertainment stuff through
the Xbox.
So I think people use that functionality. But I think Microsoft putting that front and center over the fucking games...
Yeah, that's...
People I want something to play games on. If I can watch Netflix on it as well... Great.
Yeah.
I'm not buying this as a Netflix box, though.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I think there was a point in time where that could have been a system seller, but it was vanishingly small before smart TVs came over to take over that space.
Exactly right.
Yes.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
And so the reason I use mine as a smart TV is because my smart TV is 10 years old and isn't up to date and cannot be updated. So I'm just like, well, the Xbox does the trick. So
that's what my brother
it's
does
a secondary feature for the Xbox for me. Like, I play games on the Xbox and I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch some Netflix now. Here you go. If my TV handled it, I would have stuck with the TV.
Well, I still use my TV.
That. Yeah.
But the funny thing is with this is like, if you said, Adam, what is the one thing that the first thing you would think of how to launch this console correctly? I'd be like, put fucking Halo on it and launch it out the door.
Launch that shit.
It worked with the Xbox original, and it worked with the 360. You fucking put a Halo game on it and send it out into oblivion.
No, you got to do it. That's just how it works these days.
But put the games on there and send it out.
You have to have your flagship series as a launch title.
Yeah,
that's
it is
how
synonymous.
It works.
It's so. Halo and Xbox are synonymous. If you're going to release a new Xbox without Halo,
you
you
need
just
a fucking Halo game on it.
This is
immediately.
More broadly, would the Switch have done anywhere near as well as
if
it
it
has
didn't launch with
if
Breath
it
of the
didn't?
Wild?
Wild.
No. People being like, cool, this really expensive thing that, no, fuck no. But everyone's like, God damn, Breath of the Wild's a good game.
Like, damn.
People bought it. People bought Switches And the only game they owned was Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So like, this is the only game they have on it. Because the other ones, and that's where we got absolute fucking gems. Like Snipper Clips got big because Breath of the Wild was the only fucking game, and people were like,
I need
what
something else.
What else is there?
What else
This
can I
game,
play?
and people were like, Snipper Clips is actually pretty
Like, holy
fucking
shit,
good.
that was fun.
But like, that was not a thing that cost no money to fucking make.
It's like,
But it was the only other game.
What else can we play for it? Nintendo's like, you can play 1-2 Switch. Hell no.
What's this? Snipper Clips is really good. But like, yeah. Yeah.
What the Switch was the shit.
It was bad. It was bad.
It was fun for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was.
Let's give it that.
We had a great time on our video. It was a great time.
It's a fun little party game if you're gonna play a party game for 5 minutes.
But honestly,
Yeah.
So how's Sony going to respond to this? What's their
They
release
need-
title
they-
for the
they-
PS5 going to be?
I reckon Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
That's a good
It's
guess.
like, ooh.
Yeah.
They've already announced that they're working on the second one, and
That's
I
a
think
good guess,
that'll
yeah.
come out.
I'm
But
genuinely
they've got
trying
to do
to
something.
think.
The new Last of Us? Is there a new one?
I'm
Will there be a
genuinely
new
trying to
one?
think
It's-
of what's a synonymous PlayStation game.
I don't know.
It's on the way, I think.
Yeah, that probably
But-
that as well.
Unless it's already
Death,
unless it's
Death
already,
Stranding, I think, is going to be a cross-platform game for them as well. That'll
yeah,
be big.
but they've already committed to releasing that on the PS4,
True.
as have they with Final Fantasy VII.
So, kind of
I'm still gutted at this.
Another-
I've got to find a fucking PS4 to play Final Fantasy VII.
Another E3 piece that kind of got me excited was the new Star Wars game.
We don't need to talk about this. Everyone knows my fucking position on this. I love it. It looked great. I was
It
like,
looked amazing.
yeah, sure. Fuck it.
Is it coming out on PC?
Yeah.
All
of them.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in.
PC, Xbox, PS, PlayStation, all of them.
It just
I'm
looked
in.
I was like,
great.
I was like, oh my fucking god, are we seeing this? EA making a good Star Wars game. Are we ready, boys?
Are we ready?
Are we ready to go?
Do you
How
know
are they
where my
going to
excitement's-
monetize it?
I don't fucking know.
Do you know where my
how
excitement's
are they
coming
gonna
from?
fuck this up?
My excitement is in line with what Force Unleashed was.
Yeah, look good.
It looks fun. It looks like you get to run around doing Jedi shit.
So when I played Force Unleashed, like
And
once I put it down, I was like, I've done that, and
I don't- no
didn't
interest
really
in
play the
coming
game.
back to it.
I
Yeah.
kind of think this game might be the same. I'm gonna have a really great time,
Yeah.
beat the game, and be like, I'm done.
And I'm
now.
done. But that's fine.
But I'm
There's
fine with that.
nothing
I
wrong
don't
with
need
that.
I don't need another life service in my life. I don't need any more.
I have
Give me one game
more
I'm
than
gonna
enough.
love, play, and be like, I'm done with that now.
I'm
I don't,
more than
you
enough.
don't need, you don't. What's that? You don't want another Destiny? Don't want
No,
another MMO?
no,
like,
I'm good. I'm
please
really
no.
good. I'm really good.
Please
You're
no.
like, hey Adam, you would really love Final Fantasy 14. I'm like, stop, Carl. Please stop.
Shut up, Carl.
You would though.
I would and don't. That's why I don't want to fucking play it.
Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh my God.
Ah,
But yeah, like
Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
that looked
Oh,
really
yeah.
good too.
That's something else to be excited
That looked
for.
really good
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
Also, quick, how do we feel about Final Fantasy 7? I know this is mainly probably a question for
so I've never played it. So this is going to be my excuse to play it.
dude. Get Final Fantasy 7 on the Switch.
Yeah.
Like the original,
the original one?
It's
Ooh.
on there right now. $14.
Yeah, but graphics.
It's not bad.
It's okay.
Hey, look, listen.
They don't hold
You're
up.
the one. You just spent the entire.
You
the
spent
first
20 minutes talking
of
about
the podcast.
Second Densetsu 3 on the Game Boy.
It wasn't on Game Boy.
Super
no,
Nintendo.
the first one was Game Boy.
Yeah.
I was listening.
Anyway.
Yeah.
No, but the one he loves was Super Nintendo.
Yes.
Super
That
Nintendo.
is true.
Anyway, so there's a difference between graphics of a 2D-esque
Yeah, that was the
looking,
weird-
carrying on and being, yeah, this is okay, versus a boxy 3D.
It's fine. The game, the
2D
gameplay is great,
2D
and the battle scenes, the overall sprites are terrible.
Yeah.
But the battle scene stuff is actually quite.
Yeah. So 2D-esque, like when you have a cartoony 2D-ish kind of a graphics look and feel,
It
that
kind
is
of holds up.
that holds up. That is never
Yeah,
gonna
Final Fantasy
fall
doesn't so
apart.
much.
When you have that early 2000s 3D is the thing, and we're trying to make
To be honest,
all
I like
these 3D
games. I like the
They
graphics
tend
of
not to.
7 more than the graphics of 8 and 9. Because graphics of 8 and 9
Get out.
They get a little better, but they get Uncanny Valley. So they're like, 7 is just bad enough that they
just
still
like,
don't look
you
human.
accept, you accept.
Listen here, you little shit.
accept what it is. You accept it for all its flaws.
Don't talk shit about Final Fantasy 9.
9 is fantastic. 9 was my introduction to Final Fantasy.
Like they have their limitations, but I still think that they look much better than 7.
It's probably true.
They do.
It's probably nostalgia
They really
on my
do.
part.
Yeah.
But the thing is that...
On that topic,
but the thing is that...
8's finally getting a release for a re-release.
Yes.
As a remaster.
Okay.
So 7...
good.
So yeah, I would say pick up 7 because the cool thing is, and it's what we talked about with Seiken Densetsu as well, was that the cool thing about 15 is we actually got to see... It was one of the few games we got to see fucking gameplay of. And the gameplay, I was like, it looked like a
You said 15.
We know you meant 7.
I was going to say, mix myself up here. The gameplay of 7 and Final Fantasy, the battle system looks like a very well done blend of 15 and what 7 was. And I was like, that's really fucking cool. I looked at it and went, that's actually kind of what I wanted when I saw 15. And went, that's like active battle, like action battle, and then being able to, and then you have gauges, and at certain points you stop and execute complex maneuvers that will do more damage. I was like, that's what I fucking wanted. And that's what I wanted in 15.
And to be perfectly honest, without Noctis's Warp Strike in there, it'll probably be a little less all over the place.
Yeah, because you're just like, boom, 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 boom. The thing is, that was also kind of fun.
Yeah.
That was kind of... It meant you didn't have to run to each enemy. You could just like kind of zip
dash
around
to each one.
But like, but the thing is, you can also like, I don't know about you, but 15, I never played anyone but Noctis. Like, like, can you even play the others?
I don't think so.
No, but like they all have their expansions that you go play them. But like, but you play Noctis, and this one you can play all of them. You just switch to each one.
Switch character.
And I was just like, yeah, I'm fucking in. Yeah, this looks great. This looks so good.
Yeah.
The game's going to be fucking 2030 before all of it comes out.
Okay.
Yeah, all the parts. They even said in a breath of fresh air, because no developer ever tells the truth anymore, they were just like, yeah, we have no idea when this is going to be, all the parts are going to be done. We have no idea. We bit off so much. We don't know.
We don't know what we're doing, guys.
We don't know.
We really don't
We're
know.
like, you've got the engine, you've got like the models, can't you reuse that? And they went, no. Maybe, not really. And I was like, oh my God.
So Adam, back to the point of how amazing it looks.
Yeah.
That's all the more, in my mind, all the more reason for me to wait and just play that. Like the new release rather than playing through the original.
The thing is, like, you'll only get the first bit of the story, which, to be honest, the first bit of Final Fantasy, the first act is the best.
It's kind of interesting that
the first act is the best.
It's kind of interesting, like, having played the original 7, we already know exactly what the last scene of that game is going to be.
Yeah.
Don't we?
Yeah.
Me and you.
So
yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to say it because you're going to like, it's a really fucking cool scene.
I still get to experience it. Yeah.
But the thing is, if you play 7, you'll get to play the whole thing.
Yeah.
Instead of having to wait literally
10 years.
10 years until you know how the story ends.
Final act. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay. I'll consider it.
But yeah. It's like $14 on the Switch. It'll be great. You'll love it. I swear you'll love it.
Anyway, we have been going for a little over an hour now. Let's wrap this up.
Any other
exciting
things that we saw? Actually, there is
Devolver
one.
Digital was pretty fun, as it always is every year. The Direct video, they basically just shit all over Nintendo Direct and the format. It was pretty great. They announced a game called Fall Guys. It looks like a big 100-person battle royale game. So it's a battle royale, but it looks like you're these tiny cute little things, and you play like Japanese. Basically, it's like Japanese game show games.
Right.
Like fit your body through the puzzle.
Right.
And everyone plays it at once, and the people that make it through like keep going.
Right.
And it's the one.
That sounds amazing.
Left. I was like,
that sounds like an amazing party game as well.
That actually sounds alright.
Yeah, how good does that sound? So that was
okay.
I was like, you know what? That's an interesting take on the battle royale mechanic. I fucking love it. So
Okay.
that looked fun.
The other
Fall Guys, I
announcement,
think it's called.
the other announcement of note was that From Software are collaborating with George R.R. Martin.
R. Martin.
Those books are never coming out.
No, they're not.
They're never coming out.
Yeah.
Forget
So
it. Songs
They're
of Fire and
never
Ice.
coming out.
yeah, anyone that's still reading that series, look, take it from me as a guy that was reading the Wheel of
Wheel of
Time.
Time.
Somebody else will be finishing that series.
You'll be waiting for a long
The
time.
game Elden Ring does look good though. I was like,
I'll
probably buy
it. Really does. It really does. Okay, so to tie our lovely listeners in, whoever's still listening to this point, I'm assuming you've watched
Thanks,
E3. What are you the most excited about? So Carl and I have said, or I have at the very least said, Trials of Mana. Is that yours, Carl?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't think it's going to be some like revolutionary game.
I don't think so either.
I think it'll be fun. It's just
going to be all nostalgia.
It just came
and
so
giving
out
me
of
what I've wanted for such a long time.
It just came so out of left field that
Yeah.
it just stunned me. Is the thing, you know?
Exactly right. So it's that and Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Those are the key things for me
yeah,
that
I'm a
have come
basic
out of
bitch
that.
Cyberpunk. I'm so on the fucking... Oh, I didn't even tell you the story. Oh my god.
All right, come on, let's do it now.
Story
Okay,
time.
so I can tell you the main MacGuffin very quickly of Cyberpunk 2077, and this was basically off the demo that people saw and now have been game journalists have since been reporting on. The story is, so you know in the trailer where he like kind of taps, he shows the back of his neck,
chip. Yeah.
Yeah.
and he shows a chip, and they're like, okay, cool, we'll dig it out of you, and we'll
Yeah,
get
and
you
in
paid.
and in the
And
trailer,
then-
he was doing like a heist with his buddy.
Yeah.
And his buddy died.
yes,
Yeah.
So that chip is embedded in you. That is
Yeah.
the MacGuffin. People are after you for it. That's not a surprise. This might contain some spoilers, but basically, these are all things that you'll probably learn within the first 10 minutes of the game. This
Yeah.
is all world building, setting shit up.
Okay.
It's not going to be twists or anything.
Okay.
That chip makes you immortal.
Excellent.
What?
So it's got a key to immortality, basically.
Right.
And I think that's probably how they're going to tie in a death mechanic. Like you die and
But
then
you come back.
boop, you're
Yeah.
back.
It's-
Even in one of the twists of the playable demo, you have to go in and kill a whole bunch of like this gang or something that someone like a government agent. I think I'm very vaguely remembering what
Yeah.
the plot was. The government agents set you in and they're like, clean these people out and we'll do whatever and help you, or get you in contact with some contact that you need to meet or whatever.
Whatever the case is.
And then you do the thing, and the boss that you have to go fight, you basically beat him, and he's just like, you know, like they sent you here to kill us, and then they're gonna come in and kill you. Like, we know this.
we know this is what's
And
going to
then
happen.
you can take the choice of being like, fuck you, and fucking that dude up anyway, or going to help them, switching over. So in the playable demo, the play goes with fucking him up, beats him up, and like kind of, I don't think he kills him, but basically like takes him into like some kind of captivity.
Yep.
And then they come in, fry the boss, and then fry you,
Yeah.
and then you just pop up later. Like, then it shows you literally just being like, whoop,
Yeah.
and then you literally getting back up where you dropped, and then being like, kind
Well-
of stumbling
well
out and shit,
shit,
and being
yeah.
like, fuck, oh yeah, and then it kind of goes on from there.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves' character. Keanu Reeves' character, as you've seen, like maybe the Shimmer, as like when he kind of like
Showed up and then
he comes get
brings you up.
he is in the chip,
Right.
and his name is Johnny Silverhand. Just gonna make sure I get that right, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct when I say that.
wow.
So they've combined John Wick with the character they've given him with a silver hand.
Johnny,
And that's your name.
Johnny Silverhand. I am correct, Johnny Silverhand. Because of his silver
Silver
hand that he
hand.
has.
Jesus
But
Christ.
yeah, Johnny Silverhand.
All right.
So apparently, Johnny Silverhand goes all the way back to the first printing of the Cyberpunk rulebook
Right.
of the pen and paper game. It was
Right.
based on from 1988. So this is actually a character from the original pen and paper game.
There you go.
Which I was like, that's pretty fucking cool.
yeah,
that's pretty
great.
fucking
That's
cool.
pretty.
That's
That's
pretty
pretty
great.
good.
So and also, I just want to say as well, everyone's like, when's this game coming out? When's this game coming out? When's this game coming out? I can't believe it's only now that we're looking at it being like, this game originated from a pen and paper, like D&D-esque kind of, role-playing game called Cyberpunk 2020. How the fuck did no one be like, maybe it's coming out in 2020, guys? Just a thought.
Just saying.
Maybe this game
saying.
that came out in 1988 that's called Cyberpunk 2020 gets a release date in 2020. Maybe.
Potentially.
Just maybe.
That's madness.
Madness, you say.
Next minute, they're like,
No,
sorry guys,
nobody-
we've got some delays. It's coming out in 2021.
Fuck.
Son of a bitch.
Nobody could have seen this coming.
Yeah. But yeah, so apparently, like that name, but the original pen and paper game is full of fucking 19, like Blade Runner cheese.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
complete cheese, which I think is going to be fun. And if they're sticking to that flavor of the game, being gritty, but also kind of like
just
over the top.
completely over the top.
completely over the top, it's gonna be buckets of fun.
Yeah.
Like I'm so in. Like he's Johnny Silverhands. I was like, I'm in. I'm fucking in. I'm so in.
I love that concept of that immortality chip.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing. And yeah, you die and you come back. That's how your death has less meaning. It's very similar to, as I've said a million times before, talked about on this here podcast, Shadow of War.
Yeah.
Your character can't die.
Like that persistent idea. It's
like you die, but you come back
trying to tie
for a
in
reason.
traditional game mechanics into a story reason of why things happen the way
Why
they
you
happen.
can keep playing.
Which is kind of like, it increases immersion, and that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, very excited for
In
that.
conclusion, Cyberpunk is probably going to be pretty great.
Yes.
It's going to be pretty fucking
So
great.
back to my question. Anyone
Hype
that's
it so
listening,
much, everyone's going to hate it when it comes out.
jump on. Let us know what you're excited for. Whether it's something that was announced in E3, or even just anything that you know that's coming out soon that you're keen to get your hands on. We'd love to find out, and we may maybe be able to talk about it a little bit more ourselves.
That's right.
That'll be great. Anywho, thank you very much for listening to this wild ride of a podcast talking E3 and all things that we love. Once again, jump onto YouTube, check us out, check out some of our other stuff, subscribe if you want to. Check us out on any other podcasting medium because we're everywhere now. And as per usual, if there's anything that you want us to check out, anything that you're interested in, any comments, any thoughts of view, throw them our way. We'll run with it. And last but not least, we're also on Discord. So jump onto there, jump into our chats, our crazy chats.
Link will be in the description for YouTube. Or
Those things.
It'll even be in the description if you're listening on Spotify as well.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Come on Discord, tell us why we're wrong and we should be excited for something else.
Exactly right. All right. So thank you very much, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Huh.